Well, hey there, I'm Dr. Tom Ulrich, and I like to talk about leadership and engineering. Hey, in this video, I want to continue on my new series on tips for getting promoted into a leadership role. So, I want to revisit something I said in the first video, which is I briefly mentioned this idea that, when existing leaders decide who to invite into leadership, the main thing they're thinking about is, okay, we've got these objectives, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. Who can help us accomplish these goals? And so they're not asking you to come into leadership and then take a sharp left turn. They're asking you to help with the direction they have established. And I've seen some really ludicrous ways this has gone bad over the years, where people go into leadership and all of a sudden they think they have the authority to do something different. And I want to tell you about the most ludicrous one I've seen is there was a guy who used to work with them. And what he did is he was an engineer and kind of at best, average engineer, but he went and got himself an MBA, and then was sort of expecting people to put him into leadership. And the bottom line is where we were, it's like, well, you really, don't make your goals, and not really that great. So they didn't, invite him into leadership. And so he got mad and went to a new company, and kind of just following what happened is he went there and sort of liked being the leader and liked, all of a sudden people looking to him, and he had this sense. This thing that happens to a lot of new leaders is they start to get this overinflated sense of self-importance, and started seeing himself as all powerful, and he decided that his people were underpaid. And so rather than saying, okay, in this new organization, what are our goals? What do you need me to get the team to do? Where are we going? He kind of decided to be like a crusader, and goes to his management and says, my people are underpaid. You need to give them a raise. And so they, okay, fine, we'll give them, this amount. And then, as he tells the story, they said, he said, well, that's not enough. I'm asking for this amount, and we won't take, anything but that. And so they fired him. And they should have fired him, because that was outrageous. When you become a leader, it's not like you're the CEO and all of a sudden you just get to do whatever. Leadership is not about getting your own way. Leadership is about contributing to the success of the organization. And there's kind of a related moral issue, which is, as long as you're taking the company's money to provide, to be a leader, you have a moral obligation to sort of help the company, and to sort of act just opposite of the company's best interests, and just sort of have this subversion. I mean, that's morally reprehensible. And now I should say a brief note. It's not that I'm against righting injustices on people not being paid enough. And the right way to handle that is start chipping away when the pay cycle comes around. Argue vigorously for everybody to get a raise, and and really set a goal over the next couple of years. We're going to solve this. But the idea that you can come in and just fix something like that in a minute is ridiculous. At any rate, so hopefully that helps. The big takeaway is, becoming a leader is not about finally getting your way. Becoming a leader is about fitting in with an organization, understanding what the organization's trying to do, and help the process of enabling the organization to accomplish the goals. And when I talk about, leaders lead and lead before you're made a manager, that's what I'm talking about. Is you listen, you understand what the existing leadership is saying, and you start contributing, you start encouraging your peers, you start communicating the values and all these things. And then that will significantly increase your chances of you being tapped into a leadership role. Anyway, hey, thanks for listening. There's links to more of the videos on becoming a leader down below. There's a link to my website. If you go to YouTube, you're already on YouTube. You can search on Dr. Tom Ulrich to find more of my videos. At any rate, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.